Hello everyone, what's going on? It's EasyScape, and today's video is going to be an Ironman method on how you can make a lot of cash per hour, approximately 100k cash per hour, along with clocking out at 35k smithing experience per hour estimated. And for this, you're going to need 64 smithing, which is required to make mithril 2H swords. Once you get to level 68, you'll be able to make mithril plate bodies, which will give you a lot more cash per hour. Now for this method, a coal bag isn't exactly required, but it is recommended for getting that maximum cash per hour and experience per hour. I myself didn't use a coal bag, but I can show you the method to use if you have a coal bag and if you don't have one. So if you don't have one, you're probably looking at around 25k experience per hour, along with 75k cash per hour, which is still pretty nice for an Ironman. In order to use this method, you're going to have started from Nick Isles and Giant Dwarf. You need to start a Giant Dwarf for the Blast Furnace, and from Nick Isles to have access to Jatizo. Now the last requirement is going to be having 500k cash or more. Now this is really going to depend on you. If you have 100k cash, you're probably going to be going back and forth from Blast Furnace and then making your bars into whatever you're trying to make them into. But if you have 500k, then you get to stay at Blast Furnace a lot longer, and you'll constantly be rolling over more cash and making more while you're doing it. So this is really up to you, but I recommend at least 250k, but 500k is best in my opinion. So I'm going to start off with exactly 500k cash in my inventory, and this money is never going to leave my inventory. It's going to stay there, and I'm going to use all of it up till I run out, and then I'm going to be making these into weapons and selling them, and we'll see how much money I will make in the end with 500k investment. Now, at the very beginning where I do Blast Furnace, this is no different than how anybody else does Blast Furnace. I mean, it's quite a bit different if you're an Ironman, and some of these methods are kind of made up by myself, but they're definitely more efficient, where if you go into one world, you'll buy coal, you hop to another world while you have the full inventory of coal in your inventory, and then you go put it on the line, you go back, buy more coal and put that on the line, and then you go down and you put it in, and you use the little pedals there to put all of the coal into the furnace. This way you'll be able to get around 54 coal, I believe, every single trip that you do, rather than 27 that you would have to do just by world hopping and going back. And you can even wait for the little guy that runs up and restocks the shop to see if he's going to deposit more coal, so you can even get another additional 27 in there. The largest amount it can hold is 254, and it won't let you put in there past that. So just keep depositing coal onto the line until it doesn't let you anymore, and then you can start buying mithril. I recommend buying mithril in whatever world you are in, and then going to a Blast Furnace world. The only time I go to the Blast Furnace world is whenever there isn't a friends chat that is giving out a donation world. Now, I can't donate myself because I'm an Ironman, but I certainly would. And I actually have. I have gone to my main account and given them money for doing it. Because what they're doing is, instead of them making bars, is they're sitting there and they're running the entire Blast Furnace by themselves. So you're able to get instant bars as you're doing it. And it's very nice, and it can pretty much make it twice as fast rather than me sitting in the Blast Furnace world where I would normally have to do all of the work by myself. So it's definitely nice to give them some incentive to try and help you out again and not be a leech. And even if you're in the Blast Furnace world, it's better just to not be a leech, because you can get the bars faster that way. You are helping out the bots, so if you can go to one of those CCs and get a lot of people to leave that world, then the bots are going to be making less money, therefore everybody's making more money, unless you're an Ironman like me. Anyways, I'll just be doing this until I run out of money, and we'll see how many bars I end up with 500k investment. Each mithril bar takes 2 coal and 1 mithril ore, which ends up being close to 500 GP per. So I will probably get around 1,000 bars. It is very close to 500 GP, so I should be around to get 1,000 bars. Let's see what happens. So after I got done, I ended up with 1,008 mithril bars. I think actually one of them was a placeholder, so 1,007. So pretty much on the dot, 1,000. Pretty close to that. Thank you to All Furnace and True BF for helping me with getting the bars pretty fast. They pretty much got me instant bars, and I was able to get it done a lot faster than I would have just been in the Blast Furnace world. So let's go make these into, I'm going to be making these into mithril plate bodies. So like I said, the mithril bars are around 500 GP each, and the mithril plate bodies, if I sell 5 of them at a time, it averages out, it starts out at like 3,600, and then it goes down all the way to 3,100 per world. Now that's going to be around 3,300 profit. Let's just say 33, like 3,350, maybe around there. This ends up being per bar that you make into a plate body being about 160 GP profit. Now that's not exact at all, but that's still a pretty good amount. And you'll see later that that's actually pretty close to what the amount is that you make. Now what I do is, because you can only do 5 plate bodies at a time, like even if you didn't have more stuff in your inventory, you'd only be able to do 25. That's what it rounds down to. So you have 25 bars in your inventory, and what I like to do is I get all the noted mithril bars in my inventory, all my cash stacks so I don't have to bank every single time, and my hammer. And you can use the noted bars on the banker, and he will unnote them, and you can run back here, world hop, and then sell all the plate bodies to this guy with each world hop, and you'll be getting around 16k GP, like 16.5k GP every single time you do that, and it's a pretty solid profit. So after I make 1,000 bars, we'll see what I end up with and how much time it took me to actually get all of this done. So after 2 hours, I ended up making 165k profit. Now this wasn't me like eyes glazed to the computer. I think at one point I got myself a sandwich and came back. Like I wasn't efficiently playing at all. If I was, maybe it could have gotten closer to 100k profit, but still 82,000k or 82k profit per hour is still pretty nice. I'm not sure exactly in XP per hour, but whenever I checked Crystal Math Labs, it told me I made 50k experience, so that was pretty nice. And I got pretty close to level 70 smithing, and this is just a really nice way. I don't think a lot of people know that there's an armor shop here in Jatizo, and this armor shop actually buys way over alch price. Where most of the shops buy, I think they do buy over alch price, but this one is still pretty close to an anvil. And if you want to do mithril 2H swords, those you can do in the shop north of this one, and you still make profit off of those. I recommend selling 3, world hopping, selling 3, and world hopping and selling another 3. And that's like the best way that you want to go about doing that. For banking, you can actually stand on the tile right in front of the pull booth and use the noted bars on the banker, and it will unnote them without you actually walking up to the desk. One way you can do this is click on the pull booth and then click on the bars and press escape whenever the pull booth window pops up, and then use the bars on him, and it will set you right on that tile if it's too hard to click on. Anyways guys, this has been my tutorial this is my first tutorial I've done in a while, so I just felt like putting this out there. I know this will give a lot of help to other Ironmen, and I've seen tutorials similar to this one, but not exactly, and maybe not the most efficient, so I just wanted to put this one out there. If it's been too common, then I will probably just take it down, but probably not, because I actually put some time in figuring it out and time into this video, so whatever, I don't really care. Anyways, guys, I'm putting out another video tomorrow. I wasn't really awake for this one, but I just decided to put it out, and I want to start putting out more content. So if you guys are new to this channel, go ahead and drop a subscription, because there's literally no reason for you to. This video wasn't anything special, but fuck it. You can't like down me for trying that. Anyways, later guys.